IKONINI. So jana ilikuwa ni Mashujaa Day and ama vile kwa tunajua kitambo kwa tunajua kaa Kenyatta Day. I don't really care about the names. Kenyatta was the first president of Kenya. So even if we maintained the day as Kenyatta Day, for me, I lose nothing with that. But tunaita Mashujaa Day. And of course, one of the things that stood out from jana ilikuwa kuna vile Rigiji alibaki ametokea and alitokea like after a very long time. And kama kawa, Rigiji alido his press conference and he ended up saying some things that zilikuwa zinafanya na feel ni kama umse anatuchukua kama mafala ama sisi mafala. So kuna vitu pia alisema zile zilikuwa like za nguvu, zile vitu pia nakubaliana na yeye, but a few of the things that he said had me wondering, like, is this guy serious? So of course one of the things ile alibonga juu yake ni Ruto's viciousness.
I think for now my life comes first, my health comes first. It's unfortunate that when I was here in hospital, my brother and friend, President William Ruto, ordered for the withdrawal of my security from the hospital here. I've been here alone without a single officer looking after me. He ordered the withdrawal of security guards in my rural home in Nyeri, in my private home here in Karen, and all officers who were close to me were disarmed and given warning that they should not be anywhere near me. I didn't know President William Ruto can be that vicious. I am shocked by how vicious a man I helped to be president, a man that I believed in, a man that I was persecuted when supporting him, could be so vicious against me when I'm literally fighting for my life in hospital.
Okay, so kuna hiyo part room sana sema that he didn't know that President Ruto could be this vicious. And with this always, I have a problem with this because Ruto's history imekuwa a history of viciousness. Nacheki, like kuna ubudamu patianaga story yake naitwa Mteshi. Ule Mteshi, like Ruto had taken his 100 acres of land, which, you know, Ruto did not need. But he ended up taking his land. This guy had to take him to court when he was a deputy president. And this guy had to go through the court proceedings and eventually won. And but you can see like the amount of stress you actually pati mse mpaka mse akabaki amededi. So that's one example. Another example is we'd have to go to the protests because now happens at Gen Z. How many people died? Over 60 people died. And when these people died, the president called them criminals and called them what? So we know that he's vicious. Just because the viciousness was not on your side does not mean that the viciousness did not exist. But still, it comes to stories of Rigiji. One of the things that I'll say is Rigiji is an example of those people wale the power had gotten so much to their head that they lost their way. And right now, they've lost the power. Na sasa nataka tuone huruma. Because Rigiji, one of the examples that I always give is, if you were to go back to 13th of September 2022, and we look at the way he talked about Uhuru, this was very disrespectful to Uhuru. But at this point, alikuwa anachukua ameshinda, na alikuwa anachukua yeye na beste yake, watakuwa like equal partners, but presidency does not work that way. There is one president. The deputy president, as I always say, you might as well be a flower girl. Mtu yote akikudanganya that a deputy president has power, ask yourself, Mudavadi tunamwitanga nini? Wakishiba hawasumbui. He was a deputy president. Nacheki, nani, who else? Kina Saitoti. The only deputy presidents that have risen to something ni two. Kuna Moi and his number one A student, Ruto. Only those two. So sikia vile mseli disrespect Uhuru hii time.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, my friend and brother, I want to take this opportunity to be the first one to congratulate you on being sworn in as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. Congratulations, my brother. You fought a hard fight. The obstacles that have been placed before you on your path to leadership were insurmountable. But because there is a God in heaven, today, an ordinary child, born by ordinary parents, brought up in an ordinary village, brought up in an ordinary way, growing up in an ordinary manner. Because there is God in heaven, he is the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces.
So Nchikio, it's a very simple statement, but he was a child of an ordinary man born from an ordinary... this was a swipe at Uhuru, who had been born to, of course, the first family. And you can never... but even coming to think of it, Uhuru was actually born to an ordinary family. 1961, nani hakuwa president. But, sawa, Uhuru life yake yote amekuwa babi, since he was 2, amekuwa kwa do. Na do yenye of course imekuwa ni taxpayers money, but that's a story for another day. But alikuwa me disrespect Uhuru this much. And then this is where now we come to the story of the boy who cried foul. Because kuna vile Ubuda alisema that his life is at risk. But vile alisema that his life is at risk, lazima ningeangalia one thing, that first of all, how are we supposed to take you seriously when every time that you are angry, you go on a rant, and this rant, sometimes you say that your life is at risk, and also how are we supposed to take you seriously when you betrayed the guy who brought you into politics? Who brought you into politics? Ni Uhuru. You are his personal assistant. For how many years? For very many years. And at some point, mkakosana na yeye, na vile mlikosana na yeye, you'd go on top of a car and you say all sorts of things. Wacha tuangalia nini. Kuna story fulani ile nani alitupatiaga. Umse anaitwa Watenge. Alitupatia juu ya Rigiji na Uhuru. But the reason why alikuwa anatupatia hiyo story ni kuna just before the elections, kuna vile Rigiji alipanda juu ya gari, na vile alipanda juu ya gari aliongea mbaya sana juu ya Uhuru. And this is one of the reasons why I pity him, but I also don't pity him. Because I feel like the chicken have come home to roost. But still, is he right in a few things? Yes, he's right. But hii mambo yake ya kuogopa kuuliwa, this is the first time that he talked about it.
Na mimi nataka niseme, niambie president wetu Uhuru Kenyatta, tafadhali rais, tunakuomba kwa heshima, umebaki siku 8 kuja hapa Sagana State Lodge, na ukuja na makaton, uchukue vitu yako utoke uende. Wachana na sisi. Wachana na sisi. Wewe rais umeita mkutano pale Kicheha, ukaita wazee hapo, ukasema Rigathi Gachagua atajua wewe ni rais wa Kenya. Ukatisha Moses Kuria, ukatisha Ndindi Nyoro, ukatisha Kimani Ichung'wah. Rais, mimi nakuomba, mimi Rigathi Gachagua nimekusaidia mwaka 20. Wewe nilikutoa kwa baa, nikakuunda mpaka ukakuwa rais. Miaka hii yote nimekusaidia. Wewe umekuja kutuumiza. Umekuja umeniwekelea makesi ya uongo. Umekuja umeninyang'anya pesa yangu. Sasa baada ya kufanya hiyo yote unatisha mimi ati nitajua yeye ni rais wa Kenya. Mimi Rais Uhuru Kenyatta na kuomba nikiwa hapa Nyeri, usiue sisi vile baba yako aliua JM Kariuki.
Mcheki. So hapo aliomba asiuliwe. So saizi pia anasema that he's nearly getting killed. And I don't know whether to trust him or not. But we'll be looking at your story yake ya kudedishwa. Because apparently story iliapia kwa newspaper. This was before this drama that happened on Mashujaa Day and the drama that happened during his Nini. But kibonga juu yake na Uhuru and the way he started to disrespect Uhuru and na yeye kumwambia juu vile karibu Uhuru amdedishe, we'd have to go back to ilikuwa ni Ekanene episode 321. Yes, this was episode 321. Tulikuwa na ubuda anaitwa Watenge, and Watenge alitry to break down the relationship between Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigiji and the infamous nilikutoa kwa bar.
When Moi reached a place na akaona the baby is now an adult, yeah, can make him, it was already, Uhuru was already a drunkard, vitu kama hizo. So that is when Rigiji was now. That is why you see Rigiji when he was annoyed, he said, "We Uhuru nilikupata kwa ba." So that is when he went to Karioko. He went to Karioko and found him. And since we are age mates, Nani is it 2 or 3 years younger than us? You see, Rigiji is slightly older than Ruto.
So So kama unataka kuwatch the whole thing, uzabaki umewatch episode 321 James Watenge part 2, Mama Ngina drank Uhuru and how Sonko got his wealth. So yes, kuna hiyo. But now of course Rigiji anabonga juu ya the fact that anataka kudedishwa, and what I found to be super interesting was there's an article that appeared, and article ilikuwa titled Top State Official Scared of Poisoning. Alafu ikaendelea, a senior government official currently in the eye of a major political storm is said to be avoiding taking tea with his boss. The man is scared of being targeted by those around his boss. Our mole indicates that anytime tea is served during formal meetings, the man claims that he's fasting. Surprisingly, while in his office, the man known to love tea always has a thermos full of his favorite beverage by his table. And of course tunajua Uhuru hakuwa msee wa kujulikana na tea, lakini tunajuaga kuna kuwaga na the boss who's known to take pictures kama ameshikilia tea yake. But umechikiwa nasema the men around the boss, cause this would remind me of the situation pia ile Watenge alitupatiaga ile ya Biwott versus Ouko, where Ouko died because of something very stupid. Apparently Ouko alienda majuu, alafu mtu akamuita His Excellency, and back in the days His Excellency was only reserved for the president. Si kama siku hizi unasikiaga His Excellency the deputy president, His Excellency. No, kitambo ilikuwa reserved strictly for Moi. So when he was called His Excellency, wase wa Moi wakajam, and afu inasemekanaga that it's actually Biwott who pulled the trigger, like pop up. So of course nani alikuwa dio hizi siku, so anaweza kuwa najua, that's why unachikia naogopa, or at least nafikiria maybe alikuwa dio. But sasa tukigo back to history ya the president and the president wanting to off this guy, does it make sense right now if you are to off kumu unalive, if you are to unalive Rigiji? I think it would cause more problems than solutions. It would, cause the ground is already hostile to the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah, the likes of Moses Kuria. If you are to do that, it would make it worse. Right now they can thump their chest, they can what, because Rigiji is alive. So the president needs Rigiji alive. Na hii ni kitu moja nafaa kuambiwa na watu wake, like you need this guy alive. Because hata hii storm ya Gen Z, saizi kuna vitu zingine zile the president and his people are trying to do right now that they have ODM, and it won't work. But wacha tusikie hii place umsel kwa nabonga vile karibu apoisoniwe.
I think it's very important, but finally I want to tell the people of Kenya that I don't feel safe. And for the first time, let me say that on 30th of August in Kisumu, undercover security agents entered my room in Kisumu and bagged it, and one of them tried to poison my food. But we detected it, and we were able to escape the scheme. I was supposed to be killed through poisoning. On 3rd of September, in Nyeri, another team from the National Intelligence Service came to Nyeri and tried to poison food that was meant for me and Kikuyu Council of Elders. I did report this matter to the National Intelligence Service, and the officers who were assigned to my office, I asked them to leave because I felt I was not safe.
So so nacheki hivi, alafu hii video ikiendelea, if you are to look at the face ya wife wake, you can see that the pain that she has, and the pain that she has is the pain of betrayal. And this is one thing that I can also use this as an opportunity to teach a lot of men. Like right now, because of social media and the internet, a lot of you are taught that marriage is this very bad thing. But look at that. That's a woman supporting her man. A lot of people have been supported by their women. Most probably your dad was supported by your mother. Siende kusikiza watu wanakuambia that marriage, everything is wrong about marriage, everything is wrong about women, everything, na. Look at the pain in that woman's eyes. That's the pain of someone who you can actually see believed that Ruto and Rachel loved them. But Ruto and Rachel are using them as an ends to a means. Unajua ile like it's a means to an end. And it's simple. That's how life works. Life is not fair. Mtu wote asiwahi kudanganya that life is fair. Life is unfair. everyone is using you, unatumika. So we mwenyewe make sure ile time unatumika pia wewe unatumiana ndio baki umefika kule unafika. So yes, but now vile nasema, when I start thinking about it, I don't think right now the president benefits anything through kuanalyve Rigiji. Why? This is a president who's trying to change the constitution to extend his term. This is a president who's taking advantage of an 80-year-old man who right now I think maybe senile and has decided he does not care about his legacy and is ready to help this guy change the constitution. If you're to try to change the constitution to be a life president and then by accident, like a political kingpin from Central Province, I end up amededi, ile shida inaweza kuwa Kenya, inaweza kuwa bigi sana. Inaweza kuwa bigi sana. Because a lot of educated people in Kenya do not want story of constitution change. So I don't think this makes sense. They are happy they've gotten rid of him. They are happy they are going to wanaenda kuleta nani mse mwingine anaitwa nani. That's why wanamuimpeach. Walikuwa wanamuimpeach to kill his political dream at least for the next 10 years. So in the next 10 years wana hope wataweza kuchange constitution, waweze kufanya nini, but I don't think watamdedisha hiyo. That's one of the things ile naweza sema that yes, I know your pain, I know that you've been betrayed, I know that you thought this was your friend, and because you thought he was your friend, you ended up betraying someone who was actually your friend, and that was Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta built you the same way. Wewe mwenyewe unasema ulibuild Uhuru alikubuild, but saizi sasa umeclaim you built two presidents. You said you built Uhuru, turned him into a president, and you're saying he built Nani Ruto and turned him into a president. Alafu hapo lazima nikuquote Jay-Z. Jay-Z semaga make another Hove. Unajua they say that they made Hove, so make another Hove. You say that you made a president, make yourself president. And if you can't make yourself president, make sure that this guy is a one-term president, because this guy is going to be a problem, and it's going to be a big problem. So Rigiji, this is painful, and as I keep saying, like, just seeing your wife up in the background, like feeling your pain, that was one of those, like niko naangalia hivi nashindwa jo kunaendaje. Alafu at the end of his story yote, of course Rigiji alienda pa amedo another plea to the president, akiambia the president asimdedishe na vitu kama hizo. Na vile nimesema, hii story ya kudedishwa sioni ka saizi na make any political sense. Saizi I make any political sense, cause if mbelendi kwa tasema Rigiji alikuwa sponsor protest, this time he'd actually sponsor protest, because it's one thing kudedisha protesters hapa chini, it's another thing kudedisha like anini hivyo. So I don't think this is true. I think hii ni yeye anatry kuelicit, inaitwa nini, kuelicit sympathy, and you could see that wife wake alikuwa na feel your pain, and the reason why I feel the wife was feeling the pain is ni pain ya kifo ya political death. Hii si pain ya kifo ya mwili.
We are a very small family. Let us be. Do whatever you want, but please, Mr. President, I beg you, don't kill us. Don't kill my children. You have caused me enough pain for the last 1 year. Please, leave me alone.
Tachiki place vile alisema, you've caused me enough pain. Please leave me alone. If you can see, unzona like nani aliturn. Wife wake aliturn, and you can see the amount of pain in her eyes. And eventually she ends up moving away, I think to go and cry. Unaweza chekia msel kwa nyuma ya mse mwingine pia analia. But sisi tumekuwa tukilia. Ruto amekuwa kitulilisha hapa nje.
Let me be. God will take care of me. I don't have to have security. I don't have to have drivers. I don't have to have cars. Please allow me to have my peace, if nothing else. And remember, I was there for you when you needed a man to be there for you. Let the courts of law uphold and protect our Constitution. I ask the Chief Justice, Martha Koome, to live true to the fidelity of our Constitution, to make sure that this is a country of the rule of law, to allow the court process to take place.
Yeah, naweza cheki jo. Sasa alikuwa analia hapo kwa background. But si wenyewe kuna vile of course the president amefanya tukalia, and the way it seems he's going to give us even more pain hapa mbele, cause vile nimesema I'm trying to change the constitution, and I'll be talking about that on a different video. But yeah, Rigiji, I think these are just a very good lesson to Moses Kuria, a very good lesson to Kimani Ichung'wah, that the guy you're dealing with does not give two fucks about you. He's only thinking about himself. And the way mna thump chest yenyu ni juu mjai kuwa betrayed. Uhuru hakuwa betray. No, Uhuru never betrayed you. This is betrayal. This is betrayal. Ile yenyu ya kusema sijui Uhuru amewa betray alafu mkamhepa mkaenda na Ruto zi. Uhuru the only thing maybe alifanya ni hakuwapatia do physically, but Uhuru mse kama Moses Kuria, Uhuru gave you a fake whatever stadium, ghost stadium that you got away with. And don't forget, you're getting away with because right now the president is your friend. But hapa mbele, if one day the president changes and Kenya gets a Kenyan president, mtarudisha hii do, msijidanganye. The same way mnaharasu mse na kumimpeach, mtapelekwa kwa corruption courts na mtarudisha do. And nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible under the sun. Anything can happen. So get rid of Rigiji. We don't actually care. I think what we are using Rigiji as a lesson, and this is a lesson that's showing us that, first of all, Vilosemaga power is transient. And yeah, as I keep saying, a message to the same people teaching him that, we also have to remind them that power is transient. Alafu they say another thing ile mnasema, you went against for him kisema your corruption na nini. One day someone will go for every corrupt person. Hii deal ya Dani wacha ipite, hii deal ya Sha wacha ipite, hiyo deal ya Kitrako wacha ipite. Kitrako mnaipitisha na madharau mpaka inasemekana power bills zinaenda kupushiwa juu. Wacha hizo zote zipite. But you see right now what you've done, you've already taken away the villain. So mtuambia shida ni Rigiji, saa umetoa Gachagua. Wacha sasa prices ziende juu. Alafu mtablame nani? Time yenyu itafika. But Rigiji, I don't know what to say about you. Of course I pity you as an honest man. Now me mwenyewe nikiwa the honest man, not you, because you're not an honest man. You're a very arrogant man who used to dismiss people during protests za Azimio. Wale walinyang'anywa security, ulikuwa unasema vile they didn't need the security. Now your security has been taken. So some of these things are just the chicken coming home to roost. But apart from that, of course, it is what it is, man. Politics, it's a very interesting game. And I think the next bunch of people to cry itakuwa Kimani Ichung'wah na Moses Kuria, alafu straight after that itakuwa raya za ODM. Na raya za ODM zikilia, Raila will be too old to do anything about it. Ekonene.